Well, hey, howdy, folks. Welcome back to the shed. Ooh, another chilly day. Ooh, another chilly Sunday. Hope everybody can hear me okay. My little bars down here tell me I'm good, but it would be nice to have an affirmative. Let's see, who have we got in today? We've got H&H Express. That's hi. Hello, hi. We've got Dino. Hey. RGJ Trains. That's Rob and Grace. Hello there. There's Mav. Hello, Mav. Thank you for that. Um, there's Antipodean chum, Artie. Hello, Artie. It's nice to see you're up at this time of day. President's XD's Locomotive Shed. Howdy to you. Christopher's Hobby Blog. Hello there. Nice to see you. March West Junction Andy. Hello, Andy. And James, good morning. It is morning in Canada. Probably even colder than what we're having to forego. But there, break out the pizza. Yeah, you're hungry. Yeah. That's quite a story behind Brian's Pizza. He did mention in one of the live streams, oh, I'm going to go and have a pizza now. So, of course, that leaves the door open to all kinds of funny connotations, doesn't it, Brian? Hello, Brian. So I thought to myself, okay, right, what should we put in there? So on the tippy tappy, Brian's gone for his 12-inch meat feast. And it just so happens that last night's dinner was a 12-inch meat feast. So I thought, I've got to get a photograph of this. And I thought, this is what Brian would eat. Yeah, meat eating Brian. Hang on a minute, you was on about me, yeah. Yeah, sorry, Brian. It was too much to resist. Kyle Stevens, hello there. Nice to see you. Haunted Halloween Railway, Jake. Hello, Jake. Lee's in the house. Let's see. There's Les from the other side of the world also. But there you go. So you're probably having the heat, and we've got the freezing cold. David Hall, you're just in time. Excuse me. Yes, I've already said hello to Dino, one of the stalwarts of the channel. Mick92, great to see you, Mick. Welcome back. The bar's open. I understand what it's like when you lose your mojo a bit. That's completely understandable, particularly at Christmas time, and you think, oh, let's just relax. So, yeah, I'm glad you did that, and it's nice to see you back, Mick. You named the stream in my honour. I'm speechless. Yes, I did, Brian. Yeah. Of course, it was all in good fun, as you well know. Tim Maslin, good afternoon. Nice to see you. And for those that don't know, Artie is about to depart from Australia and... Whoa, what happened? Something dropped. Excuse me a minute. Oh, yeah. Scared the blooming life out of me. Oh. Yes, sorry, I was about to say Artie is about to depart Australia and via, I believe it's Fiji, have a reset in the good old US of A. And talking of the good old US of A, welcome to Anthony Dodge, the Model Train Insider. You always call yourself the outsider, but you're more inside than probably anyone else I know. A great enthusiast and raconteur. And welcome in, Anthony. It's always a pleasure to have your company. There's getting ready for the mystery tour. Thailand, good this time of year. Never fancied Thailand. It always looked quite picturesque, but got a bit of a reputation. But who knows? Any road. By popular demand, of course, I've got my trusty spam can just coming past my left here. Perhaps your right, my left. Who knows? Nope, ever an outsider. Oh well, okay. And by request, here is the Dapol Black Label Silver Fox with a suitable rake of, call it a rake, three, a triumvirate of coaches. There she glows. What a lovely, lovely, lovely runner. Touch wood. I don't want to put the mockers on it. Yes, they both smoke like the very devil himself, and I can demonstrate that. But I thought it'd be nice to give it a little outing. Of course, the Black Label model does have all the bells and whistles. Lights on the front, great detail. It's fully die cast. That's the locomotive there and the tender, both die cast. So don't go to Thailand. You'll come back with a wife. Love you a long time. If that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. Is that the A4 I was on about last week, Andy? The Black Label? Yes, it is. Yeah. Could only afford one of those. I mean, I obviously missed the boat when it first came out. People were having trouble, and I ummed and ahed about it, as you usually do. And you think, oh, do I really want that? Do I want to spend that kind of money? I mean, it was £300 odd when it came out, which was eye-watering. Has anyone used the DCC Concepts ABC system? I would imagine there probably is. Good afternoon, Mark. Lovely to see you. Hemel Down Model Railway, everybody. It's lovely to see the layouts coming along leaps and bounds, Mark. I've been keeping a close eye on that one. Bachmann V2. What about the Bachmann V2? Let's look back for Dino. That must be off the top of the board. Yeah, Bachmann have reintroduced the V2, and it was obviously a much better model than the old split chassis job that they did before, which I believe I have somewhere. Yes, this is it, Jake. That's the little beauty himself. Let me just move out of the way. You can see it much better there. There you go. And of course, my trusty span can, which I stripped down and rebuilt myself to have the smoke unit in it, which is an ESU smoke unit. Yeah, it's, you know, when you get a new model, you put it on the track and you think, are my eyes deceiving me, or is that jerking? And it sort of jerks down the track and you think, oh, well, it's early days, it needs to run in. But this one, I put it on the track, fired it up on DCC, gave it some welly, and it was just so sure-footed. The motor in there must be a really good one, because it was absolutely faultless. I obviously gave it a light oiling, but it just seems so effortless. And no matter which direction I look at it in, there's no jerky movement. Again, touch wood. So it's just, they just got it right. Obviously, the electronics inside it is a bit, how's your father? Because it's based on, I don't know about based on, but it's a BLI. It's the second iteration of BLI, which is a bit dodgy. So I treat it like it's made of glass. So there you go. Tim Massive recommended you check a video from Little Wicket, who showed how to set it up. Unfortunately, I can't provide the link. Oh, ABC, yes. There's quite a bit of that out there. I believe John JMC has done work on ABC as well, because I believe he uses that on his layout. So, yes, Tim of Little Wicket or John JMC. Um, John JMC obviously works in the industry, and he's the guru of sound. So it's always worth looking on those. The news this week, obviously, let's get the three elephants out of the room first. Um, Firstly, you had Hattons, who have decided to throw in the towel, really. Not really much to say about that. I've never used them that much. I think I bought a loco or two or a carriage from them. Nothing to write home from mother about, but I didn't have any trouble either. Okay, good night then. Andy wants me to leave. Who said that? No, I don't. You're always welcome, Artie. What did I say? Disappointed about Worley. Yes, well, let's come along to that. But of course, first Hattons. Yeah, I believe Anthony's probably right. Elephants? There's nothing wrong with elephants. Uh, they never forget, for one thing. Big trunks, heavy weight, big turds. Um, Hattons, yes, I believe they overreached themselves and it's literally got to the end of the line. And rather than wait for it to go bankrupt and then have a lot of questions asked, who got what money and when, they've just decided to have an orderly um, takedown. So it doesn't affect me that much, but obviously anybody abroad, you sort of said you wanted to get rid of elephants. I'm almost as big. No, you're not, Artie. They're nowhere near the size of an elephant. Perhaps a rhino. Nah. No, you're fine. Um, I think you could easily fit into an economy seat. You might have to prove that on the way to Fiji. I've only ever bought a few bits from Hattons. Yeah, the same here. So I gather probably Rouse of Sheffield will take in the slack on that one. And they'll probably look towards getting something favourable for exporting as well. So, yes. Moving on to Worley, you've got to remember that Worley was organised by a club, the Worley Model Railway Club. And that's a big undertaking for anybody to do for that length of time, 30 years. And they were obviously doing it on their own. And it just got to the stage where it probably got to the same old, and they're getting old and they want to retire. And nobody, I think that they looked at who was around them and thought, who can take this on? Perhaps they looked at the people inside and outside of the club and thought, there's nobody here who can take that kind of weight of work and come out of it sane on the other side. So I think they just said, nobody wants to take it up and we're not going to force anybody. Let's just call it quits. But I don't think this is the end of the story. I think somebody will step in, like Key Publishing. They're obviously going to do their show in April. I think they may well move it next year to the end of November to replace Worley. So watch this space. And then, of course, the third elephant in the room. Now I know where you got the elephant. Is the Hornby announcement. I don't know if it was an announcement or what. It was underwhelming. Let's put it that way. Really, I think they're still playing catch up. So it was a bit half-assed, if you want to put it like that. And yes, moving just a little back to Worley, yeah, it was getting expensive. And I think they just had to hand it on rather than run it at a loss for the club. And it's in the middle of the country. So if anybody wants to go to the biggest show in the country. They just had to travel, and travel's costly. And then if you wanted to go both days, you'd have to put yourself up in a hotel. So it could cost you a good couple of £100. And then, of course, you've got parking and you've got the entrance fee, and it does come to a pretty penny. But all is gone. As for Hornby, Locomotion 1 is their really big announcement, which has obviously been under a cloak of secrecy. There was much asked for in the Era 1 iterations, let's put it that way. So you obviously got Rocket, which they've produced, then there's Locomotion, there's Puffin Billy, there's probably Trevidic's locomotives to look at, and various others, Sans Perel. The list can go on and on and on. But they've picked Locomotion. I think that's a good one. I think that's a good pick because of the detail that they have to make work. I think it's going to be a pretty good little model, probably better than Rocket, because there's more going on, and I think people will be more likely to pull this out and run it rather than just have a shelf queen where it's sitting in a cabinet year in, year out, and should I run that? Yeah, well, it's a bit delicate. Well, the Locomotion number 1 is going to be delicate, so you're going to have to treat it with kid gloves. But I got a feeling I might have a bash at that. I like the really early stuff. Never had a loco like that. So I think I may well throw my hat into the ring there and get one. Obviously, I've got no low bridges. I don't have any gradients to speak of. There's a little undulation in the track here and there, but nothing that would upset it. Obviously, it's got a chimney. It's a diminutive little thing, but it's got a chimney like this. Be careful when I put this together that I could run American trains, obviously German trains and British trains. They're pseudo-European, and obviously ideas from one went to the other a little more readily than they possibly did in America. So in America, you'd have 440s, then 460s, 260s, and then they got bigger and bigger and bigger. But I wanted to run American. So, okay, what's the criteria? No less than 25-inch radius. Okay, so I went bigger than that, way bigger. And then, do I really want any tunnels? No, because of all the difficulty of having a train break down in the tunnel and then taking off a whole section and then just putting the bogie back on, putting the whole section back. Nah. Okay, keep it simple. Try and make everything as sparse as I can so I can actually see the trains running, rather than have to pick a certain spot to video in because I just can't see anything. Chicago is £50 parking anywhere for anything. Crumbs! My God. And we thought we had it bad. That's incredible. When in February, Andy? February? What did I say that started that one off, Brian? Hornby is way expensive here now, almost as expensive as mainland European brands. Yeah, I can believe it, Artie. That's just the way shipping and handling and customs has gone. So there's Chazco. Hi, Chaz, how are you? Nice to see you. When in February? Come on, Brian. Get on the tippy tappy. Now, if I spit my dummy out because I want a loco, but not paying stupid prices from Hornby. Well, yeah, I think it's got to the point where you'll spend it if you really, really want it. If it's a loco you've been waiting for years, like this one, which is the A4, Silver Fox. I ummed and ahed about it so much at the time it was bought out that when the chance to get one second hand come up, it was still blooming expensive. I mean, really expensive. You know, it's a 300 odd pound model. And I got that actually from Rails of Sheffield. It was their stand at Getz that I got that from. And obviously the spam can, which is coming round by my left arm, that was more of a home build, a Hornby basis, but then I worked some DCC into it. Digger Evans, hello Digger, nice to see you, man. I hope you're in the warm and staying warm. Any more from Brian there? I didn't see anything. When in February? When in February? Come on, Brian. I didn't see anything there. No. Oh, hang on. Ah. It could have been. And there's Lord Al. Lord Al, how lovely to see you. Yeah, sorry I was pulling your leg about the... even then, I can't afford to spend that much for a brand new loco. It would have been a struggle before COVID. Now, no chance. Well, there's no length of time that... There's no limit on how long you can save up. But you've got to really want it. I paid £8.40 at the hospital yesterday and didn't even see one model train. Hospital, model train. Strange, but true. It was probably in reply to Andy at March West Junction. So there you go. Anyway, let's get you turned around so you can enjoy the modelling rather than looking at my ugly mug. Well, my 9F from the hang on, looks like Jim has got some more Z scale locos coming up. The 9F, the sound has given up. That's one of those Hornby HM 7000 funny chips, isn't it? Yeah, I'm afraid you're going to have to go full fat there, Al, because anything made by Hornby is not going to be NMRA standard, I'm afraid. My mug had coffee in it. Right. Sorry about the shaky cam. I'll keep it as steady as I can. Here we go. Oh, what a beauty. What I'll do, I'll just drag it a little further away so it's actually in focus. Right, I'll just drag you up a little bit. Ellie. I can't do that. Yes, I can. There you go. There goes the spam can. Now that should actually be in focus for a change. These cameras are a fixed focus. And I think they focus a couple of feet in front and then from there to infinity. Working on a video coming Friday, the shuttle train. Oh yeah, I'll be interested to see that. Hi. Oh yes, Mr. Dodge. It's the A4 and coaches. This one being in 00 scale, of course. It's it's same scale as your railroad Mallard. But this one is made by Daypole, and they did it in die cast, and it's got Broadway Limited sound in it. So all of the electronics Broadway Limited, which isn't necessarily a good thing, but I haven't had any trouble with it. Touch wood. I'll swap you this A4 for a railjet and 9F. My 9F won't run on my layout. Why is that, Brian? That's what concerns me about DCC chips. Seem a lot of issues being reported. Yeah, that comes with the territory. Anything high tech is liable to be a bit strange. Your chip comes with lock sounds? Good heavens. What does the fish come with? It comes with lock sounds. Heavens, what does the fish come with? I had to read that twice, sorry. There's 156 Andrew. Hello, Andrew. Nice to see you. Something a little silver for you there. And going the other way, something a little green. A colour well known to Southern Railway enthusiasts called malachite. Malachite. Fish comes with shortbread. Good grief. There's Fly Mode Chairman. Hello, Adam. Nice to see you. Yes, lots of shortbread made in Scotland. And anything else would be inferior. It's a bit like whiskey. If you want Scotch, you've got to go to the Scotch to get the real thing. Yes, I must admit, I do like buttered shortbread or shortbread made with butter in it, but I can only eat it when I really fancy it. Yeah, I think it's one of those things that is known the world over. Now, I'm just wondering if I can get the smoke working without having the sound on. Let's try. It should do because I've just muted it. It might take a little while to fess up. Let's have a little sound with it. Right, that should get the smoke going on that one. All my locos are on mute. Yeah, but they're all DC, Brian. Right, function 7 is on, so that should start warming up now. I might have to blow down the chimney. I'll tell you what, everyone's busy on the tube today. YouTube, that is. Right, let me just stop this a minute and then I'll blow down. Right. Right, let's see what that does. Function 7. Aha. Right, let's get them moving. Here we go. Right, let's try the other one. Sound on. I believe it's 8 on this one. Forgive me, I just can't watch the chat for a minute, so I'm just trying to get this going. Right, I'll just stop it there a minute and put some more juice in. Right, 5 milliliter. That should do. Right then. There's a steady hand for you. Right. Let's try hitting a few buttons and see if we can get some smoke working. Right, is it function 8? Soon find out, because as soon as this has smoke fluid in the reservoir, it will start to smoke. And that isn't, so it's not 8. Let's try 7. How long will 5 milliliters last? It depends. Usually about 10-15 minutes, I would say. Right, let's have another try on function 8. Try function 9. It's not function 9. It's not function 8 either. Function 7. Not function 7. Function 6. It is not. Function 9. Negative. Function 8. I'm watching very closely. Function 7. Function 5. Function 4. Good. Now, why no smoke? Counting mode. 7. 8, 9. Denmark is celebrating their new king today. Maybe I've overfilled it. Let's bring it to a stop again, and I'll try blowing down the jolly old chimney. Right, let's try 8 again. That seems to have done the trick. Here we go. Not saying the smoke is temperamental or anything like that. You want a blizzard? No, we don't want a blizzard, Mr. Curley. Right, now we should see some smoke from the Spam can. Yes, indeed. So as you can imagine, the air is getting quite thick in here. But it's all good fun. Do you have these? Are Tim? These are not vape fitted. These are traditional smoke units, fan assisted smoke units, made by ESU, Broadway, MTH. The vape units, if that's the way we've got to go, that's the way we've got to go. But I don't think they're really very good. They look convincing until all the smoke starts to ground itself. So it comes out of the chimney and immediately does a nosedive towards the floor. Whereas with traditional smoke, it tends to hang in the air because it's been heated. If you see what I mean. There's Newlyn Railway. Hello, Clive. Nice to see you. Never used the system. Not sure it would fit in a Hogwarts Express. Yes, it would. Yeah, it would fit it. You might have to do some surgery in there. But TRS do the vape smoke systems if you don't want to wait for the Hornby one. That's very kind of you, Dino. Thank you very much. Yeah, Mick, if it's any consolation, we all get that. It's very seldom that I'm down for more than a couple of days before I bounce back. But when the blues do hit, yeah, it can really give you the willies. I don't know, Adam. I think you'd have to be careful what kind of water. It's got to be deionized water for it to work in a vape unit. Either that or it's got to be distilled or evaporated or something like that. It's got to be pretty pure. Otherwise, you're going to start to get scaling problems. Yeah, James, I really like those coaches you got from Jim. They're They're really good. I really like those. It's nice to see some more of them. Try vodka in anything, Mick. Yeah, I believe the vape units work on a piezo system where you apply power to the little piezo plate and it vibrates at really really high frequencies, and it literally condenses the water and sends it out in a stream of vapor. That's the way Hornby suggested it works. You think it'd be crying and suffering from open wallet surgery in buying a Falla platform kit? Yeah, it could be expensive. Yeah, I like the fact that Jim put the figures inside as well. I mean, they're probably the figures I've got from China, which look something like this. All really bright colours and stuff like that. But you can't tell looking in the coach. It looked good to me. I think we're not seeing you, Mick. Didn't want to sing Pushy, sir. Vodka, absolute vodka is Swedish, made from wheat grain. Didn't know that. Whee! Well, the Swedes don't mess around. They usually produce some pretty high quality stuff. Probably very expensive, but high quality. Buy from Lippert in Germany, it's much cheaper. Yeah, unless you go over a particular cost threshold. I think it's what is it, £150 or something like that, 125. The footbridge isn't cheap. Well, what is cheap these days? Right. I think our erstwhile silver fox needs a little more jollop. So I'll bring around. Let's go recall. Right, there we are. Uh, 2512. 2512. Seven should switch it off. So now the smoke unit is off. I just noticed something. Yeah, that's all right. Right, let's get some more jollop in this machine. Right. Saute. Zelta. However you want to say it. We've always called it Sooth. There we go. Right. Where is my little syringe? It's disappeared. There it is. Never a great deal. Usually that much in a syringe this size. There is one, is that 10 millilitres? So 5 will be down here somewhere. I can probably afford a little more. But no more than that. There we go. Sorry, I can't look at the chat at the moment. Right, let's hit function 7 and see if we get any smoke. This is where I blow down the... There we go. Never fails. Lovely. And as the other one is running out, I'll bring it to a stop and we'll do the whole thing once again. There we go. Right, 5 milliliter in my worst German accent. Not quite that much. There we go. Right, I'll just reset the smoke on that one. Right, that should now be on. Might try fitting the smoke system in the Hogwarts Express after seeing this at some point. Yeah, wait until Hornby bring one out. Right, that's smoking up now. Wait until Hornby bring one out and then it'll be probably a little less expensive. S equals Z, EU equals OI. I'll just stop that one a bit. Now you can hear the 3-cylinder beat, Anthony. It always sounds a little bit odd. It's not ch-ch-ch-ch-ch, ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch-ch. It's in threes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's like a very fast waltz. And of course, the Spam can is another 3-cylinder. And this is what this one sounds like. Can you put more than 5 mil in them? If it tells you to put 5 mil in it, put 5 mil in it. No more, no less. If you do flood it, even on a soothed smoke unit, if you flood it, it won't work. It's as simple as that. You'll have to end up taking some out in order for it to work. So rather than have all that faff, you just do what they recommend. And as you can see, 5 mil seems to work very well for me. There's Tammy and Ray. Hello, Tammy and Ray. A little smoky action today. Here comes the draft from the door. Yeah, that's just the way of things, Jake. It's you have to be really careful. Hi, Andy. There's Andy Dobson. Welcome in, Andy. Nice to see you. And there's some emojis for Ray. Thank you, Dino. Thank you, Brian. Yeah, smoke units work in if you keep them within the parameters in which they're supposed to work. Too little or too much is not really good. On some of the smoke units, don't let them run out. Like, for example, on the Silver Fox, which is coming around now, it's not a good idea to let it run out completely, because the element will still go and it will just be burning on nothing. So it's better to keep your eye on it. With the ESU one, which is in the spam can, the Bully Pacific, I should say. Oh, there's Timber Surf. You got to run. Oh, sorry to hear that. Well, thanks for coming in, Timber Surf. Nice to see you. Yeah, they work between various parameters. The ESU unit in the spam can has got an arrangement inside that when it does run dry, it turns the machine off. So it's quite clever in that respect. Yes, that can be a real mess, Artie, if you overdo it and it spills out inside. That's why I tend to use this without fail. I mean, that's got a fine enough needle where I can actually engage the hole in the smoke unit and then give it a squeeze. If you use any kind of dropper system, you might be asking for trouble. I've found this out over the years, particularly with the old Triang ones. You used to get like a glass vial, and you used to put the drops in that, and it would get it down the chimney. But it was pretty hit and miss, and the inside of that got very, very smoke fluid laden. Yeah, that's right. So I do keep an eye on the BLIs. As soon as they start running dry, I turn off the smoke. It protects the heating element, stops it burning out. And again, you're working between the parameters then. That does look quite a sight though. Yeah, here comes the spam can. And that's got an ESU fan-driven smoke unit in it, which is really very effective. BLI is an on-off switch behind the smoke box door too. Yes, that's right. Yeah. So you can completely isolate it. Yeah, they do put them in some funny places sometimes, but I think on the NTH locos, they were actually in the tender. The switches were just below some little features on the roof of the tender. So you pull the cap off, and underneath there's a little switch which will turn on the smoke unit or off. Now I've got them working pretty sedately, Artie, so I can always up the speed. There you go. Now that one's going a bit faster. If I recall the other one, where are we? There. Bit faster. Oh, James is off. Okay, thanks for coming in, James. Nice to see you. How are we doing for time? Ugh, time's getting on. Yeah, if you keep your eye on the spam can, you'll notice that the smoke unit does actually turn itself off as soon as it runs dry. Dampf or Rauchdestillat. Ah, yeah. Time for another beer, and it's almost bedtime. They make strange bedfellows, don't they? Have a beer before bed. So, is it late night for you, Artie? What's the name on the yellow? It is Silver Fox. Yeah, Silver Fox number 2512. Pulling the Silver Jubilee. Tons of videos from yesterday and today to catch up with. Yeah, there's lots of them. They're all coming thick and fast. Drinking covered his beer, Mick. 1 a.m. Oh, yeah, that sounds like it's time for bed, Artie. You need your booted slip, mate. Well, you don't really, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I believe the four silvers came out in that livery, in the which is light grey silver. You've got Silver Fox, Silver King, Quicksilver, and Silver Link. Okay, cheers, Carl. Nice to see you, mate. And as you can see, the bullet has run out of smoke fluid and has turned itself off. You'll note that as it comes around. It's one of the great features of electronics that it can actually do that kind of thing. Yeah, smokeless. So there you go. All right, let's just pop that on 8 for a minute. And go to the other one. That's sound off. Yeah, the one good thing about this one is it's got the Silver Fox. It's got a mute button on it, which is function 8. You can press that, keep the smoke going, but just without the sound. Yeah, it's good the way it works. I mean, it's really clever. And I've always loved the smoke. Right, my first train set was a triangle. Right, let me just grab you from there. Right, there we go. Yeah, the first train set was a triangle. It was the Carter Bell set, and it came with a little ginty that Brian would be familiar with. The very same one which has the smoke unit on it. Of course, you had to get it almost to 12 volts to make the thing work. And to tell you the truth, the smoke you got out of it was a bit disappointing. Knowing what I know now, I could probably get more out of it. But at the time, it was what it was, and I loved it. Uh, an actual locomotive that smokes. I mean, incredible. But there you go. And of course, I've loved smoke features since then. But it's just that so few people have actually made it work and made it work well. Um, when we got our first MTH locomotive, that was a revelation. How they'd done it with a little electric motor which pulsed the smoke out. Incredible. And of course BLI, and of course the also the Europeans have gone down that way. So you've got Ree in France, you've got Marklin, who do power assisted smoke. I think probably Roco do it. ESU definitely do it, because that's the unit I've got in the spam can. And yeah, for me, I've always loved the smoke. Right, that's getting very low now, so I'm going to, on my trusty NCE power cap, just go around all the different. There we are. And if I press function 7, that will kill the smoke. I'll just make sure of that. Yes, it has. So I'll just bring that to a halt there. I'll leave the other one going merrily on its way behind me. Well, that's it for me for this week. I could go on all day, but I've just seen a notification come up that Dave Swindon Junction has just started. So I'll clear the airwaves and give the boy a shot. So saw Jenny degreasing the smoke unit, Loco's boiler to get all the old set oil. Yeah, it can get quite thick, particularly if you don't use the syringe. Anyway, I'll just say thanks everybody for coming. It wouldn't be the same if you weren't here. I'd just be sitting here talking to myself. It's a bit of fun on a Sunday, as you all know. Great to see everybody in rude health. Still blooming cold, but you can't have everything. Roll on the summer is what I say. Thanks Artie, Digger, Dino, Anthony for coming in and making it what it is. So and hi, yeah, I'll be watching your little shuttle. And Brian for his good humour. I had to get the pizza joke in, but there you go. Nice to see you back, Nick. Nice, be good to see a little update on the or some trains running on your layout. All in good time. Thanks for the pizza. Cheers, Brian. And I'll catch up with you all soon. So take care, everybody. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, and happy trains. Take care.